Oh, those hard rocks are rocking, and we're here with none other than Billy here for 1 week
Yeah.
later. Yeah, Billy, we're here back at To Be Seen for 1 week later. We are being joined by two new shows this year. And that's going to be exciting. You may have already seen the She-Hulk show, the after show. That's part of Shedding Light. We've had some interesting times, and the band is getting back together on To Be Seen. Brandon Liu returns later on this year, and then we're going to be joined by Ernesto. So those are the big newses that are hitting you right off the bat. News. We're coming out with a Doctor Who show. Who? Doctor Who? Who?
Doctor Who.
Who?
Doctor
Who?
Who.
And that's called the Console Room, and we were very excited to welcome with open arms Ernesto will be joining me for that, and we might have some guest spots later on, but that's going to be a lot of fun for those Doctor Who's. So we're not here to talk about Doctor Who. We're not here to talk about Shedding Light. We're not here to talk about no streaming or TV. We are here to talk about probably what I consider to be one of the best new sci-fi films that has come out in the last decade. And we're talking about The Creator. And since you might have seen it from the other one, I might as well throw that one up there. But yeah, The Creator, I absolutely loved this film. And I wish that more people would get off their duffs and go see it so that we can ensure a sequel would come up. Um, and that's just my first overview. But let us hop in to the synopsis. In a future war between the human race and artificial intelligence rages on, an ex special forces agent, Joshua, is recruited to hunt down and kill the creator, the elusive architect advanced of AI. The creator has developed a mysterious weapon and has the power to end the war of all mankind. Pretty cool synopsis, huh?
Oh yeah.
That's pretty accurate, I think.
Yep.
Right?
And Josh like starts a relationship with the creator's daughter
Yeah, I'm
at the
sure the
very
creator's
beginning.
not very happy about
And
that.
in a raid gone wrong, loses his wife and uh
His arm and
loses
his
part
leg.
of his memory too.
Yeah, arm, leg, memory, all that stuff. All right, let's hop into who's in it. All right, so this one has a lot of familiar faces. Three exactly. We got Gemma Chan, John David Washington, who sounded very familiar, right? Didn't he sound like somebody you know?
King Kong's got nothing.
There you go. There you go. That's the guy. Ken Watanabe, absolutely adore Ken Watanabe. He like was in Godzilla and Batman and uh just a ton of stuff. He is a fantastic actor, and I want him to be in more films. Amor Chadha Patel, poor guy. He was the infamous robot that kept getting roboted. And then Sturgill Simpson, who played Drew. A lot of fun with those folks in a very good movie. And
And
let us
surprisingly, like the kid that played Alfie, that's their first movie.
right and did such a great job for first time. Um, Madeline Voyles killed it. Like
Yeah,
I was
definitely.
convinced
Like
that she
that
was.
is like an award-worthy performance from
Yeah,
a child
yeah,
actor.
that's right. Oscars, let's go. We got your gold right here, man, for sure. All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes of the review. What worked? Oh man, there was so much that worked for me in this movie. This to me was like a AI centric movie, but to me, it really got into the meat and potatoes of almost every anime I absolutely loved, and it became a live action film. They nailed it, and it's the right guy. It's the guy who did Rogue One, and I believe he is the great director of our time. And I hope they give him more movies because apparently you just told me the budget of this film was only 80 million, so it's already halfway to recouping its cost. But those are just some of the things that worked for me. What worked for you, Billy?
Well, I kind of like the fact that although a lot of people keep on thinking like, oh, it's only about the AI thing, it has nothing else other than like the technology versus people.
Mm-hmm.
It also had kind of a message, like how like there used to be the Vietnam movies and stuff like that, like Star Wars. George Lucas said that the rebels were supposed to be the Viet Cong and the Empire was the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
This one is kind of weird because it's an Afghanistan war movie.
Is it Afghanistan? Because I felt like they were
A little bit
in.
of Iraq, just the war on terror in general.
Okay, so you're saying the AI were like terrorists?
Uh,
You're in a hole. You
kind
got to dig
of.
yourself out, man.
I mean, they do hijack a plane at the end, fly to a central intelligence location, and
Go
blow
on.
it up. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying there was a plan here that was pretty terrorist ass.
Yeah, that was very Pentagon-y.
Yeah. And then nothing's funny about September 11th. But yeah, there was some
Just
parallels
kind of
there.
odd coincidence.
Yeah.
Great movie, not so great in reality.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's odd to have those lined up.
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty odd.
But it was still like a good story overall of a soldier looking for his wife and finding a new mission and
his offspring, technically.
Yeah, technically his kid. I mean,
yeah.
We've already given away some spoilers already, so why not give them?
It's a week later. Come on. I mean, yeah, a lot of people didn't see it, but go see it. Go see it and then come back and tell us, man, you guys are right. This is the sci-fi movie of the decade.
Because seriously, like this thing, it's good and visually impressive as all hell.
Yeah.
I mean, as I said, this thing cost $80 million, but it looks like the Star Wars. It looks like better than the last 4 Marvel movies.
For sure.
I mean,
for sure.
They used like $400 million to do Ant-Man and the Wasp, and that looked like freaking Shark Boy and Lava Girl. This
it did.
Cost $80 million, and I would say like visual effects were on par with Infinity War.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree because the way that,
like, how do they do that for that much?
The way that the AI looked, where like they had the hole back here and it was just like a face, I thought that came out incredible. It was seamless. It wasn't like, oh, there's the blue screen that they put on that. No, it looked like legit. And then some of the concepts were incredible. They have really cool. Like you can download the data, the last bit of data from the previous bot, the previous AI, and then upload it into the next AI so you can get the information. And you could also do it with humans
too. You can download their brains.
Insane. Yeah. Like I remember Strange Days had something like that where you can put information from somebody's cerebral into a disc and then share that moment with somebody, like a VR session, but not like this where it was like the actual information from the brain was transferred immediately, like maybe like 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's also interesting to see, like, you find out when somebody knows they only have a couple of seconds left for like an afterlife,
right?
What they're actually going to consider, because like when they bring back the friend, the only thing he cared about was getting a message to his wife.
Right.
Like, okay, soldier, we need this information from you. That's not important. Talk to my wife, tell her this, and it's like, no, soldier, please get back to what we were telling you.
Right.
We brought you back from the dead so that you could tell us. I just need a message to my wife.
I need her to pick up some potatoes. So yeah, some of the some of the imagery that you got in this was just fantastic. Mother and daughter here. Alfie, the hero of this movie, the real hero, and the silent hero that didn't quite make it out of the first 10 minutes, but her face got copied everywhere. Um, that would be Gemma Chan. She played Maya. And, Denzel's son got to scream her name over and over again. Maya, Maya, Maya. It was like, dude, stop. Like, if you see her, then scream. If not, don't worry about it. But there was a nice, cute little, like, reunion on the ship at the end. Because, like, they had, like, kind of like a Halo where they have an area where they're filtering, I'm assuming, air out of plants because they have like a whole field full of uh, plants, like like really tall grass,
Yep,
and
they got
then
their little heaven. So
yeah, there was it
got to
reminded
see
me of
his loved one.
Gladiator,
Yep.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely could get that gladiator vibe. You get to be with your wife at the moment of your death.
right. You're in Elysium and you're already dead. So,
Hmm.
and the ultimate sacrifices that were made in this movie were just incredible. And just some of the beautiful imagery, like there's a scene where they go to like the Tibetan monks area of New Eurasia. That was it was called
Yeah, New Asia.
New Asia, and then you just got this amazing imagery of like the bad ship that came through and was just blasting people with missiles. So instead of like an air force, you had like a air carrier craft, like something out of Marvel. What was those? What was that? The gun? It was like a
The
gunship.
helicarrier.
Yeah, the helicarrier. It was basically the helicarrier, and it shot down on you, and there's no escape because it could go anywhere, and they were like heat
Yeah, or maybe
guided,
like the Justice League's watchtower.
right? But it moved around. I thought that was so cool. It looked like daytime looked cool, nighttime it looked like it went above the earth at some points. I was like, whoa, this is incredible. And I was there for every moment of it. There was just so many there's so much beautiful imagery here. There's so many parallels to what's going on in our society because AI is already starting to take over in certain aspects and we're trying to fight against the machines, but we're not being nuked yet because luckily they haven't given it to the government.
And
Not yet.
also, can I just say, thank
Yeah.
them for choosing LA instead of New York. It's about time that New
Yeah,
York
it's
didn't got
about
a break
time.
for once.
Yeah, all these movies, the post apocalypse. Oh, they nuked New York. They nuked New York. I was like, oh man, should I move? And now they nuked LA. All right.
Yeah, give us a break for once.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Nuke the other side of the continent. So, sorry to all my friends in LA, which I have a lot of and a cousin. So maybe I should move. Um, so those were some of the things that worked for me and you. Um, Another thing that worked for me, I thought was just incredible, besides the acting, was a lot of the kind of sort of flashbacks that he was having, they weren't aligning properly.
Hmm.
It kind of gave me this almost pause as to maybe he's just downloaded and that's not really him, you know. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I definitely could see that.
Maybe they had a more advanced version where you don't see like the big
That could
thigh
be the
hole.
sequel too. They could have had it that he gets downloaded into another body.
Yeah. And yeah, he can come back that way. And in case you're wondering, he does not make it at the end. The great gunship in the sky goes kablooey, and Alfie saves the day. But they get Alfie out to go back to civilization, and they destroyed the big gunship. So hopefully, I with these types of movies for sure. If there is a sequel, absolutely the gunship's getting recreated, or they had another one the whole time. You know what I mean? Like
Oh
that's
yeah.
not gonna end everything. Those things are like, oh shit, you destroyed our Death Star, so we have the Death Star too. It's bigger, stronger, and even like less constructed. So like for sure, there's a lot they can do with this movie. So those are the things that worked. Now let's get into what didn't. All right, so there was one thing that bugged the bejesus out of me, and that was the giant tank. Okay, very
Mhm.
cool concept that they have send these like tankers in to get areas that soldiers can't or missiles can't, and get those little clusters and things. But Alfie's ability to like touch things and stop and redirect them. He should have had it redirect to the bad guys. Like, what the fuck did you just let it kneel before you? Like, oh, creator,
Well,
yay.
Alfie was a pacifist. He wouldn't want to kill anybody.
Right, but they
I mean, the other
literally
robots were perfectly fine putting IUDs on almost anybody.
exactly that was like their thing. Like, boom, I got a bomb on you, motherfucker. You know,
Yeah,
like
they'd be like, because it's funny. Ken Watanabe's like, what happens if the AI wins? Nothing. We would never
right.
harm anyone. And it's like, but you sure put a lot of bombs on people. I
We
mean,
never
you
harm
know that
anyone.
bombs aren't exactly that peaceful, right? I mean, that's probably like one of the more violent ways to die.
I mean, I not killed people. I put the bomb on the coat. Their coat's fucked. They can take the coat off. It's up to them. They have a responsibility to take the coat off and not get blown up. I can't help them if they're too slow. Not my problem. I hear them.
I thought you were starting to quote like a Batman Begins thing and going, I'm not going to kill you, but I'm not
But
going
I'm
to
not
save
gonna
you.
save you. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. I just thought this was such a fun movie. It's hard to really get anything that didn't work. For sure. Um,
Occasionally, Alfie's powers, it was a little weird because it's like, okay, you can turn off
yeah.
this. Why don't you use that more?
Yeah. Like I feel like they should have explored Alfie's powers more. I feel like she had a litany of things that she could do, but she only like begun to tap into what she
Yeah,
could do.
because
She could
like
turn
you
things
could,
on and off, and then
because
she
like
could like
that door that out of the space shuttle,
yeah, she should have
with the
just been able to
computerized
touch
lock, it'd be so nice if there's somebody that could control computers by making this gesture with their hands.
it. Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
if there's somebody that could do this,
Open the
that could tell the
door.
computer to open the door to let him in,
Yeah. Yeah,
that would
that
be
didn't work.
so
Well said.
helpful. I don't know
Yeah.
why they don't have somebody that can do that.
Imagine just a turning and opening the doors. Oh yeah, I could do that. Forgot. Totally forgot. Sorry about that. Yeah, that didn't work for me either. What was up with the general going up to the gunship too? That was like, what are you doing? Like he was on the ground the whole movie, and then in the last, I guess I got to go up to the gunship. Why? You're the one that they want. Why would you just put everything we need to destroy in one spot? And again, the general can be replaced too, just like
Oh,
the gunship.
absolutely.
You
As
know what I
long as they
mean?
don't do like a freaking Avatar 2 where they download the general onto a synthetic.
Oh god, that was so dumb in that movie. I was like, "Really? That's how you're gonna bring it back?" I watched it. I tried to watch it again. I couldn't get through it, and it wasn't the movie that I thought it was. And when I was like, "Yeah, it was good," but then I look at other movies. I'm like, "This movie was way better than Avatar 2."
Oh yeah, this was better than the first Avatar. I mean,
Yeah, this is way better than Avatar. This
yeah, this
is
is
Avatar.
what
To me, this is Avatar. This is what James Cameron should have been
yeah,
doing.
this is what I expected from James Cameron,
Yeah,
given like the budget that he had.
right. And this was made for like a fraction of that budget.
Yeah, this is uh like chump change compared to that.
Right. Like if I don't know, it maybe didn't have enough marketing or what, because
It
when we
didn't
get
really
into
have
that,
that much marketing. I'd admit that's probably I'd say what's the biggest failing of this film.
yeah, the marketing was a bust, but such a good film. I definitely
Yeah,
think
I
you
mean,
guys
it's
should go check it out.
definitely if you get this is word of mouth, you've got to do this, get people to see it.
Yeah,
Uh,
bring your mama, bring the dog, buy him a
just
ticket or her
just get a ticket,
or
just
they.
show people, keep this thing in theaters, let
Yeah,
it be a slow burn, and just get it out there.
yeah, because it's worth it. It's a very enjoyable like hour and a half movie, almost 2 hours. It wasn't full 2 hours; it was an hour and a half. And it's the acting, the visuals, everything is so good. And we're talking about the spots where it's not supposed to be. What didn't work? What didn't work is some of the cheesy, like, hey, my powers don't exactly do everything that I was just doing 5 minutes ago. But also, you had the lunatic corporal or captain or whatever. And I just feel like she wasn't fleshed out enough. She was just like, well, here I go.
Yeah, AI killed my kid, therefore I will destroy all AI.
Right. But like, I really didn't find like she had too much of a plan. She was going on the fly. And it seemed like people followed her anyway. It was weird. It was just
Yeah,
a
it's
little bit
like
disconnected in that spot.
it had kind of an Ahab vibe. It was like,
Yeah. Right.
Okay, so why are you following a person that's just insanely obsessed with one singular goal?
Right. And not only that, it was like, well, if the AI killed your kid and you want to stop AI, well, like what else can you try to do? You just gonna focus on that ship? You know what I mean? On that one kid? Because
And
like
also,
technically they didn't
why
know
were
what
they
the
shooting the AI as opposed to using the EMPs that they used throughout the movie
yeah,
as
that
well?
that didn't make
Because
sense
the
either.
EMPs seem to be much more effective than the
Than the
guns.
bullets, yeah. I would just like tag everybody up with aim. Maybe because you can only use it once, like for a rare occasion. But like they had a handheld EMP. They should have
And
just brought that.
also, what's with the robot mines that you pointed out? Because wouldn't those things be considered a risk for being hacked and betraying them?
Yeah,
Because you mentioned
exactly.
like, oh, Alfie makes it stop, and you were like, why didn't Alfie make it go back?
Right.
Why didn't any other AI hack that thing, make
Yeah,
it
you're
go out?
right. They can't figure it out. Like, come on.
I mean, it seemed very rudimentary, and it's just like it's a machine, it's
Right.
AI. I mean, they're using AI to fight AI, and it seems like AI could figure that out.
You would think, but no. It's so weird because like there's so many things that they could have done with this, with that plot point where like Alfie could send the AI, maybe not even to like kill people, but like go off to the side where he keeps just sending it to like jump off the bridge or something like that. Like there were so
Yeah,
many things he could have done instead of like just let it kneel and then oh he's back. Oh no, you know. So
like
it was just
they could have
fucked
actually
up.
had it where the thing stands down and they shoot the thing to blow it up,
Yeah, that would have worked too. There's a
and
lot of
just been
other
as it's like I stand down and just boom, blow that thing up like that way.
yeah. There's a lot of ways they could have gone, but they just went with a very weird version. All right. Well, we know what worked. We know what didn't work. Let's get into some of the other fun in reception. All right. So Rotten Tomatoes scores the creator 67% fresh from the review critics and reviews from those critics. About 280 of them, almost 300. And 500 viewers gave it a great fresh popcorn. So the people and the critics are just about 10% within each other in agreement with us because we think it's an absolute gangbuster and fantastic movie that you
And
should be seeing.
surprisingly, still like fairly small audience reception because I'm looking, you know, that's still like about uh 776 reviews.
Yeah. Yeah, very small. I mean, it's we'll get into the viewership since we're here. We'll go hop into the news. So the creator grossed $38 million worldwide. That's very low. It did better here than overseas. Um, the problem here is you've got a property that's untested. And the last time they did that was kind of like The Matrix, I feel. That was the last, and then they milked the shit out of that. But that was the last time we got like a sci-fi movie that was totally fresh. That wasn't a comic book movie. That wasn't a book that somebody else had done a movie years before. Looking at you,
But
dude.
even that, like they advertise the hell out of it to hype it up. I mean, everybody
Yeah,
remembered the marketing campaign and the soundtrack to The Matrix and all
that's
that other
true.
stuff was out there. There
They
was
put a
a
lot of money
whole
behind
like brand behind it. They had the Animatrix to promote like the sequels.
it. Right. Well, I mean, that was because of the success of the first one. That's why they had the Animatrix.
Mhm.
But like, they should have totally spent the money on some marketing. You know, if it, I mean, maybe they only spent $20 million. It's 100 million total.
Yeah, and even the cast. I mean, for the most part, it's fairly like unknown.
Most,
So,
yeah. I mean,
I
only
mean,
it's the
yeah, people are gonna be like, "Oh, that's Denzel's kid." Wow, when have I seen Denzel's kid?
yeah. I mean, maybe if you think it would have done better if it was Denzel.
Maybe,
Wow.
but I just mean like just somebody with a name. I mean, Gemma
I mean,
Chan was the one that's the most known because she was in the Eternals and Captain Marvel.
right. She was in a TV show too. No, Ken Watanabe is really known.
Yes, but
Yeah.
again, that's kind of more niche because, like, yes, there's people who are like, "Oh yeah, I think he was in the Kill Bill movies."
Oh no, he wasn't in the Kill Bill movies, was he?
I thought wasn't he one of Uma Thurman's trainers when she was learning
No, you're
the
thinking
sword?
of Tori Hanzo, who was that was played by Let No One Beat You. What's his name? I gotta look it up.
Hold
Kill
on.
Bill. Kill Bill. Yeah, Tori Hanzo was played by Sonny Chiba.
Huh.
Yeah, Ken Watanabe was not in that. And then oh, Johnny Mo was played by Chow Ha Lu. And yeah, Ken Watanabe not in that movie.
But
So
yeah, he was still.
Ken Watanabe was in The Last Samurai. He was
Yep.
in Godzilla movies, Inception. He was in the first Dark Knight. He was in
Memoirs of a Geisha.
yeah, Fukushima. He was in Detective Pikachu. That's kind of funny. He was very big in The King and I. He was Drift in the Transformers movies.
And I
So
know I've seen him in something else recently other than this. I'm trying to just pull up the credits.
he was in Isles of Dogs, Saigon, and he was in Fukushima about the nuclear disaster that happened in Japan after the disastrous earthquake that hit Japan and tsunami that followed the earthquake. Billy's deep diving. While we deep dive,
Yeah.
one other thing that I want to bring up is the guns that were in this. I thought there was like at first I thought it was like shotgun type of things, but then when you look at stills like this, it's like no, they're laser guns like Star Wars. Pretty cool. And the designs of the AIs, the police AIs, were really like my Roomba came to attack me. My Roomba became self-aware and decided to shoot my ass. That's what they kind of look
And
like. But
it's also cool that they filmed like at locations. Like those aren't sound stages.
yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of
That
green
was
screen.
Indonesia, Cambodia.
Yeah, Easter Island.
Yeah.
No, not Easter Island.
Oh,
Uh, go ahead.
I think yeah, Latin America. I think
Latin
didn't
America.
they? I'm trying to remember. I think was it Honduras?
Yeah, sounds good. All right, so let's have a final look at the film. If you go by my standards, a good movie is something that grasps your attention, keeps you involved, and keeps you in step with the characters. You want to see what their development is. You want to see where they go, and you want to know what's going to happen with them. And it makes you wonder what happens after the film. You start to build your own stories and develop further onto characters that you fell in love with in this movie. And that's a successful movie to me. And that's exactly what the creator did. If you think about it, you really love Jaws because after Roy said, "Smile, you son of a bitch," and blew up the shark, you always wondered, all right, well, what did he do after? Like, how long did it take him and Hooper to swim back to shore? Like, you were always, I mean, at least me, I was always thinking about this. Like, what's going on with his wife? What's going on with his kids? Is his kid like traumatized from the shark? Is he ever going to go in the water again? Like, I was thinking a lot of things. And then they did a sequel and it was like, I'm not, this is kind of like not where I want it. But um, another great example is the Terminator. Yes, Terminator 2, he went in the lava or it was just molten steel.
Yeah.
And part of me was like, well, I don't think he would melt all of them at once. Like a liquid, yeah, I get it, but he's hard steel that's already made. So, if they cool the steel, it's going to take a while for him to be melted and then join in with that other steel. So they could have a piece of, so it's a movie that leaves you questioning things, but for a good reason and wanting more. And that's what this movie did. I really wanted more after this, and I want a sequel because I have so many things. Like there is a scene where at the end of the film where Joshua discovers that they've copied his wife on a lot of different AI, and he literally like bugs out. Or no. Alfie finds that room of the AI copies and
Yes.
drags one, and that's how Joshua finds it. But basically what I'm saying here is like, okay, if they've copied that many AI, was there a plan to like use the mother, so to speak? Did they always know Alfie was a kid? And the creator was a child, basically, or the mom was
Or that the
actually
creator was
the mom.
Josh's wife. I mean, did
Yeah,
they know
the
that
d-
when they sent him to kill the creator? Did they know that he was going to be having to kill his wife?
yeah. Did he fall? Like, did they know he was gonna fall in love
Was that
and
why they
mess
did
it?
the raid? Was the raid to kill a creator because they didn't think he could finish the mission?
Right, or did they realize who it was and want? He was an expendable aspect, and then when they thought, oh, actually, he didn't kill the creator, was it a clusterfuck that caused him to do all this? Just so there's so many things that we're pondering and we want more of, and we really can't press enough for you to go to the movies and see this and
And
tell your
definitely
friends.
still tell your friends. This is one of the things I'd say, like, this is one of those movies where part of the fun of it or part of the joy of it is sharing it. I would say
Yeah,
definitely this is one where, like, so far almost all week, I saw it last week or Monday actually, and I've been telling people all week, you've got to see this movie. You've got to
yeah,
see this movie, and just that's what I've been doing like almost all week, just telling people like, see it.
yeah, yeah. Fantastic movie. Um, I'm excited to see our next film, and that will be The Exorcist. But it is getting deadpanned right now. I think it's going to be the number one movie at the box office, but oof, looks bad. And the other thing is when you complain endlessly on the internet of there's nothing original,
Yeah, when there's
there's
something
no,
original like the creator, you
go see
ignore it.
it,
But
and
then
you
when they
ignore
do like, oh, here's the Exorcist 16,
it.
sure, see that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, give things a chance. Don't just sit home and go, I want something original. And I'm not going to
And then
support
just
when
wait
the
until I
original
make a
comes out.
sequel and then be like, I'll see the sequel.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll get to a sequel with this because of the box office, but I'm hoping they do. It's such a good movie. And before we go, our final is there anything you want to add before I
Just tell people again, see this movie, see it in theaters. Definitely see it on the biggest screen you can see it in.
There's an IMAX. You can go see this in IMAX.
Mhm.
Worth it. All right. So before we go, this is tagged the incredible Easter egg. Uh the Star Wars surprise. And that is K2SO is in this movie. Did you know that?
No.
Yes, the director of this film came up with K2SO in the Rogue One Star Wars film that he did. That was actually his last film. So he hasn't done anything since that, which I think is fantastic. And K2SO had become such a fan favorite and a beloved character that the director, loved the character, so he snuck him in. And I personally think I found him. And I'm going to
Oh,
share this image with you as to what I thought K2SO was. You ready?
okay.
All right. And we've actually seen him already because I already flashed it. I kind of like blew my load early, but I think this black part of the armor here is K2SO, part of the K2SO armor. What do you think?
I can see that.
Yeah, I think that's piece of K2SO. And the director said he definitely hid K2SO in it, and he will point it out if somebody finds it. So if I'm right, director, please not only like, share, and subscribe to our channel, but please be sure to let me know. Maybe perhaps on social medias. You can follow us on To Be Seen. That'd be amazing. But yeah, I think this is K2SO, and I think that that's totally what it was. That's the Easter egg. That's what the hidden message was. So much fun. Definitely worth a watch. And that's going to wrap it up for this 1 week later on the creator. This was our last trailer reaction too, if I believe.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. And we have moved on. We're just going to just review movies from now on.
Yep.
Um,
Less copyright strikes,
yeah.
less drama.
Less drama from your mama. Um, and yeah, we'll be back next week for the Exorcist sequel, which is weird. And we'll be plenty of other movies, so be sure to subscribe, take a look at all of the fun things that you can do, like, share, subscribe, and comment below. What did you think of the creator if you saw it? And if you didn't see the creator, why not? What's wrong with you? Go see it.
Seriously, go see it. I'm
Go
not
see it.
joking. I'm not just trying to like BS you. I'm not. I will actually just tell you, like, if you don't see this in theaters, you actually do a disservice to yourself.
And America. Don't deserve
Yes.
America, god damn it. All right. If you enjoyed this and you want more of myself, Joe Dove, I am excited to share with you the brand new look of Captain's Quadrant, our other channel. Yes, Captain's Quadrant, where I and Jason Roy Gaston, they are the co-hosts of the Captain's Quadrant. We bring you a weekly show talking about all things Star Trek. We have a big interview coming up next week. A very special guest named Ray, who is in charge of the neutral zone, and we'll get more into that in the interview. It's going to be a lot of fun. Jason and I are having a blast talking about Lower Decks right now. So be sure you go over there and subscribe to the Captain's Quadrant. Check out our buddies at Pop Culture Spread. They're in Australia talking about movie and streaming news. And of course, Jason Roy Gaston again. He's become a good friend of mine. And all his furry pets. Yes, the 3 cats and the little furry guy on the corner. All the pets at Jason Roy Gaston's channel. And make sure you come back to us next week. And in November, we start the Console Room, a Doctor Who show, podcast and show. Very excited. And Billy will be back always with us, especially now that he's out of prison. We're very excited to have have him hanging out with us again. No longer having to worry about soap and dropping it.
I'm
And
sorry I broke into your house. I don't know why you had to call
you,
the cops.
you were like, I really would like a cool background. I'm just going to come over and take a picture of all your stuff and all your underwears. Oh, thanks, Billy. We'll see you next time. This has been 1 week later.